Sometimes I get in trouble for speaking more analytical than emotional, but I think something should be said. And I think there were five issues, really. There's a race issue, a police issue, a traffic issue, and the internet issue. Now, right off the bat, you know, I know that everyone wants to make it a race issue, but it's maybe 10%, because the police officer did not know who he was pulling over until he exited his vehicle with his gun drawn to the car. Before then, you couldn't see through the car, and I think that's something to keep in mind. You know, people mention tailgating, that's not a big deal. It is a big deal, because if someone tailgates, they could crash into your car, especially on the 23, because it's a windy road. But, you know, one thing we have is the internet issue. You know, last week, the state representative Mary Daly and Senator Capoletti issued a condemnation of the police department. And I'm just wondering if they saw the police video before last week when they issued the condemnation. Because how can we, and again on the internet when we see half a video, how can we issue a condemnation if we didn't see the full action, the full incident? And that's something that we ourselves have to keep in mind. You know, there's justice, and justice sometimes takes time, but it certainly is not instant, you know, and when you're on scene of a police officer doing something and you take out your phone to take a video, you should know that there was something probably that necessitated that traffic stop. And just to go, again, I know you can't talk about the scenario, but you know, the woman claimed that her father or her parent is a Pennsylvania state trooper. As a Pennsylvania state trooper. Sir had his gun drawn. Yeah, it's probably a bad idea, but keep in mind that for a traffic stop, that's one of the most deadliest interactions with a police officer. You know, obviously, my interactions with police are different than everyone else's interactions with police, but I have just two scenarios that I had. I was in New York City. A police officer threatened me with a night in jail because I was a little, you know, I had an attitude with him. You know, he wanted me to pull over. I was waiting for my grandmother. I couldn't. And he came and said, you know what, you'll spend the night in jail if you don't continue. And a few weeks ago, or a month ago, I was speeding on the highway, totally wrong. I got pulled over. You know, the police came up to me. I gave him the look like, yeah, he got me. He went back to the car, gave me the ticket. You know, I had the summons, and I went on my way. People don't realize that a police officer's job is stressful, and a community's job is stressful. But when I got pulled over by a Lower Merion Police Department officer, we were talking because he had to call for backup. And the one thing he said was that what differentiates a ticket from a warning or from nothing is don't be a jerk. And that's illegal. You know, yeah, if you're a jerk to an officer, you'll get a ticket. If you're not a jerk, he'll maybe let it slide. But I travel across the United States and I travel internationally, and I've been involved with a lot of police departments. And it's I think wrong to put so much blame on the Lower Merion Police Department, because I've been here around 10 years, and I walk City Avenue. I get in, stop with them. I talk to them. You know, there are bad apples, maybe, but by far, the Lower Merion Police Department, and these are the officers on the ground, have been the most professional in every interaction that I've had with them and every interaction that I've seen them with other people. And I'll just leave with the bottom line. Had the woman pulled over within a couple of minutes at the many, many, many safe locations, this would not have happened.
Please, well, let him finish.
We don't know that, but that's the officer pulled someone over. Had this person stopped, this would not have happened. So I think we do have an issue with the police. Yes, the police are looking into why this officer came out with the gun drawn. But we also have an issue that, you know, it's not the internet. You can't just demand whatever you want when you're pulled over by the police. Like it says on the website, there's a PDF that you can read of what to do when pulled over by the police. Bottom line is, when you argue or fight with the police, you never win. When have you ever seen a video of fighting with a police officer and you walk out with nothing happening to you.